On the streets, Lil Jeff was known as a ruthless drill rapper who not only rapped about taking out his rivals, but actually carried out the hits. However, what many don't know is that he also went after law enforcement. Most gang members avoid direct confrontation with the police, but newly surfaced footage reveals that Lil Jeff had no fear even when it came to officers. But did he push his luck too far? Lil Jeff versus the law, his fate was sealed long before his death. Word on the street was that the Chicago Police Department was fully committed to bringing him down, linking him as the mastermind behind the shocking murder of 2 high school students. Surveillance footage captures the chilling moment when Lil Rob and Monty, unaware of the danger ahead, casually approach an elevator structure. To the right, a dark-colored SUV suddenly pulls up from under the train tracks. A gunman jumps out, frantically approaches the boys, and opens fire. As soon as the shots land, the shooter rushes back to the vehicle, speeding off down W. Bashan South before making a left onto Madison. Though the footage only shows one vehicle, CPD Deputy Chief John stated that 2 cars were involved, with multiple shots fired at the group of teenagers.
When two cars pulled up and a group of individuals exited said vehicles, fired multiple times, striking 2 of the teenage students of Innovation High School. These individuals were taken to Northwestern Hospital where they succumbed to their injuries.
Chief John identified the victims as 16-year-old Robert Boston and 17-year-old Montario Williams, known on the streets as Lil Rob and Monty. The hit was swift, strategic, and brutal. Eyewitnesses reported hearing between 10 to 15 gunshots in rapid succession before the shooters quickly fled the scene. Local shopkeeper Muhammad Ashik, who was nearby at the time, described the gunfire as resembling the sound of firecrackers.
Firecracker, like a brrr, something like a firecracker, like a 10-15 shot. Boom, 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 boom.
If the gunfire sounded like firecrackers, it suggests that at least one of the shooter's pistols was likely equipped with a switch, making it sound more like an explosive burst. The shopkeeper recalled instinctively ducking for cover as gunshots echoed through the air, describing the chaos and fear that followed in the aftermath of the attack.
Everybody looking right and left, over there has people crying, the kids crying.
Another eyewitness at the scene recounted a harrowing experience, revealing that she was grazed by a stray bullet while walking to her studio. Speaking to news reporters, she even displayed the bullet hole in her coat as proof of how close she came to the deadly gunfire.
Went through my arm, but just passing by. And yeah, here.
How are you feeling right now?
Super anxious. Sad, and I was afraid that it hit me too by accident.
Most eyewitnesses described the attack as an ambush. In response, the Chicago Police Department launched an immediate investigation to determine the motive and identify the suspects. According to CBS News, the tragic shooting took place near Napochantry, Innovations High School in downtown Chicago's Loop, around 12:30 p.m. Lil Rob and Monty were heading out for lunch, walking toward Washington Street and Wabash Avenue. Despite the area being busy, 2 cars suddenly pulled up, unleashing a hail of bullets on them. The victims' families spoke out about the heartbreaking loss, describing the boys as goal-oriented, focused on school, and eager to learn a trade to build a better future, until their lives were tragically cut short.
The 16-year-old just had a smile, then kept a smile. The 17-year-old, he was just trying to work hard to just go into the trade.
Most eyewitnesses described the attack as an ambush. In response, the Chicago Police Department launched an immediate investigation to determine the motive and identify the suspects. According to CBS News, the tragic shooting took place near Napochantry, Innovations High School in downtown Chicago's Loop, around 12:30 p.m. Lil Rob and Monty were heading out for lunch, walking toward Washington Street and Wabash Avenue. Despite the area being busy, 2 cars suddenly pulled up, unleashing a hail of bullets on them. The victims' families spoke out about the heartbreaking loss, describing the boys as goal-oriented, focused on school and eager to learn a trade to build a better future until their lives were
Shit will start happening. Y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week. And poof. Gotta go. After that, poof. I came back. Poof.
This comment attempted to explain Lil Jeff's motive, revealing that he had spent a week furious, angry, and depressed over the watches stolen from him before finally snapping. He blacked out, the user said, suggesting that Lil Jeff had just snitched on himself. Many were left wondering why he hadn't been arrested sooner. The most common reaction to the video was straightforward. How did he not get arrested? One user seemed to answer that question, explaining, "Everyone keeps asking how he didn't go to jail for it. The feds will let you think you got away with something like that, let your money build up like your case, then come get you. Solving a murder doesn't pay them as much as a RICO or drug case does, so they wait and let the case build." That theory made sense to many, leading another user to suggest that even if Lil Jeff hadn't died, he would have been arrested within weeks. This dude wasn't a real killer. He couldn't help but tell on himself over and over again on camera, and he only made it 3 weeks after jumping off the porch. It turns out Lil Jeff wasn't capping on his IG Live. Nearly a year after the hit, the Chicago Police Department made significant progress in their investigation and started making arrests. The first suspect was identified as Tommy Coleman, an affiliate of Lil Jeff and the Bloodhounds. He was arrested on the 5700 block of North Mason and charged with double murder. Then, earlier this year, a second suspect was identified, 20-year-old James Allison, known on the streets as J Bloodhound. He was taken into custody by CPD officers and U.S. Marshals on February 3, 2025. Word on the street was that J Mo, another suspect, had attended Innovations High School alongside Monty and Lil Rob. Some questioned how J Mo was still in high school at 19, but an explanation soon surfaced. He failed on purpose so he could stay behind and keep sliming out his ups. Quite an excuse for failing school. Interestingly, this wave of arrests was largely due to an extreme level of self-snitching by Lil Jeff and his crew both in their music and on social media. But the bigger question remains, what really went down on the streets that led to such a brutal murder? Lil Jeff had often given credit to his friend Vert for introducing him to both rap music and street life. Early videos show Vert hanging out with other kids from Drill City and Trap City 2 groups that were still on good terms at the time. Eventually, Vert made connections on the west side of Chicago, in an area known as the Jungle. A Facebook post from 2021 revealed that his ties with the Jungle Boys remained strong into adulthood. The Jungle Boys were closely affiliated with a neighboring set known as BKN, or Nitty Block, named after Jungle member Frank Nitti, who was killed in 2019. It appears that Vert was the one who drew Lil Jeff into the Jungle Boys circle, as a video later surfaced of Lil Jeff flexing guns with BKN members. However, this alliance was short-lived. Allegedly, 2 BKN members backdoored Lil Jeff and robbed him of his watches. From that moment, things escalated into all-out terror. During one of his many self-snitching moments, Lil Jeff dropped hints about why Lil Rob and Monty had to go. The backstory: the two had allegedly robbed Lil Jeff of his jewelry. As if that wasn't enough, they then took to the internet, launching a spree of trolling and disses aimed at the Bloodhounds. BKN members bragged about the robbery, even claiming the jewelry they took was fake. And from there, the cycle of violence only worsened.
We got like 50K down!
After the hit on Lil Rob and Monty, Lil Jeff bragged about the bounty price and flaunted 2 watches taken from the scene. Ironically, one of the watches turned out to be a fake iced-out piece designed to resemble an original AP timepiece. Sharp-eyed Reddit user quickly pointed out that the watch had a GLD logo in the clasp, an online jewelry store known for selling gold-plated imitation pieces. When word of this spread, Lil Jeff jumped on IG Live to defend himself, insisting that no one had ever taken anything from him by force. According to him, the boys had only asked to see the jewelry, and then ran off with it when he wasn't paying attention.
My dead grandmother, I'm at the head. If I'm lying, I'm down. God could come pull me out this car right now. I never took a dollar from nothing. Just said, let me take a picture, this, that, and that. I look up, the brand, we all the way at the top of the staircase first.